If you're in your early 20s and you are still figuring out life, you're not where you want to be yet, stressing over work life balance isn't something you should be doing. If you're stressing over work life balance, you are misunderstanding this season of your life. Now, let's talk about this. So, first of all, work life balance basically means balancing every aspect of your life so that no one drains you completely. It's not only a 9 to 5 job. I mean, if you have something that takes your time, your energy, your responsibility, your discipline, I think you can call that work. For instance, me, I don't have an actual job. I mean, I'm just a fresh graduate, but I have other engagements. Like, I have a retouching gig that I do for photographers. I retouch pictures for photographers. And recently, I got a course that I'm learning. These and some other things have been taking my time. And I decided to find out how work life balance works. And this is what I found. In your early 20s, work life balance isn't something you should be focused on because your early 20s are a strong foundational season where intensity, focus, sacrifice can set you up for a more easier and balanced life later on. Your early 20s shouldn't be about comfort balance. Instead, it should be about strategic balance, or you can even call it strategic imbalance. From the explanation I gave about work life balance, which is balancing every aspect of your life so that one doesn't drain you entirely, that meaning would translate a 50-50 balance. Now, in your early 20s, how can you even balance your life to be 50-50 when you're still building your life? Because most people in their 20s are building their life. So, how can you balance something you're yet to build? Instead, you should aim for enough balance to stay mentally healthy and still learning, but enough pressure to keep you growing. I'm not saying no work or no balance. Instead, I'm saying more work, more pressure, and minimal and essential balance. You're not supposed to be aiming for a 50-50 work life balance. Rather, you can aim for a 70-30, 80-20, whatever works for you, but you cannot essentially aim for a 50-50 because it cannot work. So the point is, your early 20s or your 20s are for building. Then you can seek a 50-50 balance when you've actually built something. Because imagine you're building a house and in the construction period, you're focusing on decorating the inside of the house. That would delay the construction process. But if you actually go ahead, build the house, it has a solid foundation, the house is well grounded, you can then move forward to decorating the insides. And that is just how it works. This is not some advice or something like that. This is just an opinion and, should I say, a finding that I made. Because after looking at the lives of great people and billionaires and successful people, I understood that they did not aim for a work life balance when they were in their 20s. Rather, they put in all the effort, the sacrifice, the focus, and look at what they have now. Also, psychologically, the early 20s are a formation stage, mentally, identity wise, and all of that. It's the period where the brain, the habits, the resilience, and all of those things are shaped. If you invest this phase in growth over comfort, your mind becomes stronger, your skills will compound, and balancing life later on would become way more easier and it will come naturally rather than forced. Psychologist Eric Erickson identified ages 18 to 25 as the stages of or the stage of identity versus role confusion. This is the stage where young adults must work, experiment, build skills, and have, a form of identity, or they just risk confusion later. If a person prioritizes comfort and balance too early, they may risk not having a strong identity or direction and regret this later on in their 20s, in their late 20s, or later on in life. And some of us are familiar with the delayed gratification theory, right? Which is the Stanford marshmallow experiment. It's a classic psychological study that shows that people who learn to delay pleasure for long term rewards usually end up more successful in life. So, sacrifice more long term pleasure and balance for now to gain stability later on. Instead of chasing a 50-50 soft life balance right now, chase growth with healthy habits. Give yourself rest, yes, but don't become addicted to comfort at this stage of your life. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this made sense to you, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye.